What is happening, fam? It is your boy, the Soul and Steve of the Ayatollah of Indica, aka the Gordon Ryan of Ganja, aka the Hickson of Hash, aka President of the United States of America, Donald Blunt, aka Dwight Durbin, aka Ned Sparks, aka Willie the Cool Penguin, aka Lord Bongtimore, and I'm here with another brand spanking new episode of Let's Toke About It. I feel like I've been fucking recording these like a motherfucker. It's time to drop them. This is episode number 96. Welcome. If you've never been here before, this is a show where we talk about some of the craziest things you could think of, some current events, some personal development. A friend of mine once said that this is a podcast that should be called You Should Care More, which I agree. Also, got my favorite hundreds t-shirt. It says Eat Shit and Die. Would appreciate if you go ahead and do that if you're somebody who doesn't share the show. I'm just kidding. You can maybe eat some shit, but definitely don't die. Oh my goodness. I gotta clear the energy. I don't know what the fuck I'm attracting. Part of the, I've had some interesting stuff going on today. I'm gonna get into it in just a second. I'm trying to think if there's any other things that you should know. Yes, there's a podcast about personal development. You should care more. It's about bettering yourself, maybe some preparing for the end of the world. You might catch an episode where I'm having a cool conversation with somebody, because that's what I like to do. I'm trying to clear the air. Give me some of that. Got all my herbs, and for those of you who are audio only, I'm also waving around a stick of Palo Santo. My kids love doing that. I got a pretty fresh stick, fairly fresh. They're gonna love they love to wave it around. I forgot to wave it around yesterday. Was recording episode 95. Dr. Kim McBride. I can't think of it right now. Dr. Kim, let me tell you, that was an absolutely fucking wild episode. If you're listening to this episode, Kim McGeorge, if you didn't listen to the episode right before this, episode number 95 with Dr. Kim McGeorge, you need to go check it out. I've been sitting here thinking about it all day. Actually, no, I haven't. I mean, it's been I was thinking about it all day yesterday, but I had shit go down today. It was pretty fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I guess I can get into it. If you listen, I don't know, some episode in the last couple episodes, I talked about this bullshit summons I got for having weed at a park. Not the coolest shit I ever did, but I like to go trail running and I like weed. So they gave me a ticket. Whatever. Now I'm mad paranoid being at the parks. I go to a park today because it's my kid's soccer game. I said, I'll leave my weed at home. I'll leave my weed at home and it'll be at home. I don't need to worry about it. I was going to go run this trail that's right there. The trolley trail is right by the park. Literally, it's the parking lot for the trolley trail is attached to the park where the soccer fields are. So, park, do my thing. At halftime, run over back to the car, get my son's medication for his, poison ivy that he had, and go back, watch the rest of the game. My daughter, Charlie, scored her first goal. I mean, she kicked that joint right in stride. It went smack dab in there, and I'm hoping that's exactly what she needs to tighten up and really, kind of get back in the groove when it comes to some of her athletics. Watch the game. She crushed it. I actually owe her a toy. For those who do not know, my motto when it comes to my kids in sports, whether it's jiu-jitsu or soccer or fucking anything else they choose to do, if you go out in the game and you score a goal, or you hurt another kid, just accidentally, not an intentional hurting them, like not knocking them down, shoving them down for no reason. But if your aggressive play causes another kid to, get knocked over or, sprain an ankle or something because you slide tackled them, and you get a toy. That or scoring a goal. Obviously, we don't want to hurt the other kids. Too bad. But, life is about winners and losers. And I would like my kids to be winners. And I went to go leave. Well, by leave, I mean throw my slides in the car, switch my shoes out, and hit the trail. And I see a fucking park ranger parked right behind it. And what's fucked up is that when I got there, I was like, this probably isn't a great spot. I should probably find a better spot. And I was like, I gotta get over there. And so I was like, well, fuck this. I'm not even gonna risk another ticket. It was a $900 ticket, by the way, that I got a couple weeks ago. $900 for like having 2 grams of weed in a park. Stupid, man. It's 2024. What the fuck are we doing? Am I destined to forever just fucking get in trouble for smoking weed? It's like high school and getting in trouble for fucking smoking cigs. Smoking cigs in the bathroom. Yeah, not the coolest shit I ever did, but it's pretty cool. So, me and my slides, my old fucking Adida, trekked 7 miles to get back to my house. I forgot my headphones in the car, so I raw dogged this walk. Drank about 3/4 of my gallon of water just on the walk alone. Came home, actually did like a solid little chunk of cleanup in my garage here. My puzzle mats to lift some weights, do some get-ups, whatever. My kids to drill some jiu-jitsu moves. There's actually space for that. The bikes and everything else is kind of organized. I just need to work on my back area so I can move some of my work shit into that area so it's not right here in the garage. We lit, dude. Cleaned up, little entrance to my house, swept out front. Shit looks good, man. There's a lot to be said for, just recognizing little bits of progress. One of the main things that I got from yesterday's episode with Dr. Kim was to be more gentle with myself. If you can sift through all the madness that her and I mean, dude, it's ADD City. If you don't know Dr. Kim, go check her out at Secret to Everything on the gram here. You can look her up, Dr. Kim McGeorge. Go to her website. You get energy readings, the whole 9. She talks about auras, but so she's talking about being more gentle to myself, and then I listened to the old 307 podcast because a couple different people told me they listened to the recent episode where Chad and his wife Brooke just kind of talk about what's been going on, and it really was more Brooke busting down what her last year's like, and you should definitely go check it out. I'll put a link in the show notes. And for those who don't know, Brooke, Chad's wife, is a recovering addict, has been in recovery since 2015, been going through it, got a diagnosis of OCD, talking about how she struggles with rumination, intrusive thoughts, which I recently have been actually thinking about. Just some of the things that come along with OCD, and she's talking about some symptoms or signs that are things that I deal with. And I've always said, the disease of addiction is rooted in obsession, the physical compulsion and, um, self-centered nature. And I never really like applied the obsessive compulsive element of that to other things in my life. And just some of the shit that she was talking about, I really was able to resonate with. Listen to that, got some shit done, got some shit cleaned up, getting ready for my kids to come back over tomorrow. And, the part of the reason why I really didn't want to deal with that is because my last ticket I just got, I had to pay it, and I had to pay it within a certain amount of time, or else they're gonna drop a warrant. And so, I mean, I paid it. It's in the mail. I don't know when they issue a warrant or at what time. Maybe Monday morning. Who knows? I'm really not in the mood to deal with any of this shit, especially because I get my kids back tomorrow. And I don't know what the situation is, but I just know that today I did not want to deal with that again. Got my shit done. Decided for my second workout, I'll just go ahead and trek on back. And I really was hoping that I wasn't going to have to do a walk 7 miles back, because park ranger or a cop or somebody was just sitting there, and I snuck up in that little parking lot. Nobody was there. Nothing. So I went and got my car and hauled ass back home. This shit is ridiculous, to be honest, that I even need to think about these things. It's kind of an interesting day. Raw dogging 14 miles with no headphones, just thinking about shit, listening to shit. I mean, it's funny the way it worked out, because that's exactly what Dr. Kim and I were talking about, connecting with the nature, with the all, with the one true God, connecting with these things. And then I had an opportunity today. Did I need to go to the lengths that I went to try to make sure that I didn't have to deal with any bullshit? Apparently not. But it was beneficial. And so, even when we think these things are happening to us, that it's oh, fucking blah, 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 how can we figure out the ways that it's beneficial, that it's positive? It's definitely not how I plan on spending my Sunday, but I was able to get some serious shit done. I was able to connect. I've been bitching about how I need to put some hours on feet, get some miles in, and haven't been. It's God makes this shit happen. We make this shit happen. We are absolutely connected. And I'm going to keep saying it, man. There's just been so much shit that's been happening lately that leads me to believe that, there is direct cause and effect. But again, some of this shit is really about just how we choose to perceive it and what we want to see, and how we can take care of ourselves. And I was getting ready for this podcast. Wanted to prepare a little bit. I don't have my iPad still. Got stolen from me, and it has been missing now for about a week, a little over a week actually. Keeps popping up different places all throughout Westminster. So I was perusing the gram a few minutes before I got on here, and I saw, now that I've talked about me, now that I've gotten the important stuff out of the way, me, Donald Trump apparently was golfing today, and there was an armed shooter with an AK-47, and I'm obviously, this is one of those situations where we probably need to wait a couple days to get a little more information. to figure this out a little bit better. Let's see what's happening, because what I saw, and I just basically scrolled through the number one news spot in the world, TikTok, and there's just really a lot of clips from like mainstream media talking about it. They're talking about this dude, I don't know, Wayne something Ruth, maybe. I don't know. The picture I saw of this fucking guy looks like a fucking clown. I don't know who he is. I don't know what the situation is. They say Trump's itinerary was not published, so how would this guy know that he's going to the golf course? You know, how they caught up with this guy, well, that they're saying, he fucking, got spooked, boogied out, I guess, left the rifle, left 2 backpacks, left a GoPro, and some bystander decided to call. They gave a description of the vehicle. They said it was a Nissan, although it did not look like a Nissan. It looked like an SUV, although the Nissan Rogue is one of the most popular SUVs on the market today. So very well could have been one of those. I don't know. There was cop cars next to it, so I couldn't really see. But apparently he boogied off, and, they used license plate trackers, got a hit, called the sheriff for the county that he was in, that's above where he was at, Palm Beach County or whatever, and like arrest him right off the road. Mad sheriffs, whatever. So who this dude is, will we know for certain? I don't know. I have no clue. But I am excited to see if any more information comes out. Just as with anything else, we don't just rush to conclusions, take what they say as a fact. Just wait. And I'm sure we'll find out within a matter of days. I've been listening to a lot of different people's experiences with different recovery programs, thinking about Palm Beach and how that's like a recovery capital. Thinking about Donald Trump in Palm Beach. What does this fake assassination attempt mean? I mean, the first one, I am absolutely not sold. I mean, for all I know, it could have been some high priest ritual with the blood on the ear and the shoes in the hand. Who knows? But this world is a stage. I don't believe shit that's going on with any of these fucking politicians. I can't. How can I? What am I supposed to believe? They're just full of shit. So I'm skeptical. Want to see what happens. I want to see what they're gonna do, how this plays into shit. We got shit happening that has never happened before when it comes to elections. I mean, there's cheating in every selection. All these people are all fucking related. I saw Mark Cuban a few days ago posted, like, who would you rather have teach your kids to look up to? Something to that effect on Twitter. And, like, it was like an overwhelming amount of people voted for Trump on this thing, and instead of Kamala. And it's like, dude, what do you expect? Trump is like an American icon. Like, fuck even the presidential shit. He's kind of always been that dude. People loved him. They rapped about him. They wrote fucking songs about him. Nobody hated on this fool until, 2016. And we can see how Mark Cuban just looks like a fucking fool, because it's like, yo, you want to teach your kids about Kamala Harris? Do you want to teach them about how she imprisoned tons of people for nonviolent weed crimes? How they were supposed to get out? There were people that were supposed to get out, and she kept them in longer, had them kept in longer, so they could use them for free labor. This shit is about, she was a fucking prosecutor. How can you honestly sit there and say all cops are bastards and then go vote for Kamala Harris? She is that. That is she. Uh, do you want to teach them, your child, to suck their way up to the top? I mean, look at it. Do you want to teach your kids all sorts of bullshit, or do you want to teach them to be a badass fucking American billionaire? What's his name? Mark Cuban. Everybody used to love that guy. Now, last few years, he's been fucking killing himself. You know, he's been fucking trying to play perpetual fucking just go along with whatever. You know, pretty sure he was a vaccine guy. He's an anti-Trump guy. I mean, you gotta think, right? If we go into some sort of totalitarian communist-esque state, the rich, the people who are already over the hump, they just get way richer. And the middle and lower class, and anyone that didn't get over that hump, we're all fucked. You know, people think it's like the small to medium sized business owner that even does, 100 million. It's not. That's not the bad guy. I mean, it's people who have these gigantic monopolies that don't have the best interests of their people in mind. You know, when you look at like the Bolshevik Revolution, talking about kulaks, they use that term to describe anybody. If you owned fucking 2 goats, you were a fucking kulak. And they would take your shit and fucking kill you. You know, dude, what's crazy is like, you got people translating speeches of famous artists from history and translating them into English with AI, and you listen to them and you're like, oh, wow, that sounds an awful lot like what's happening in America. Oh, that sounds exactly like some shit that is really going to fuck up our society. I mean, dude, anybody that thinks this shit is legit has lost it. And I don't know what's going to happen leading up to this election, but I don't know. I don't feel a lot of hope in that regard, but I will do whatever I can in this next 2 months to try to, figure it out. It is what it is, man. We're going through a time where I'm sure if you're anything like me, you've been going through it. There is no way around it. We have to grow through it. And fortunately, I feel like somebody that I'm built for this. Whatever's coming next, man, I'm ready. I mean, obviously, if we're talking about some real deal apocalyptic situation, we're talking about the end of the world, I'm going to go out back, lay down prone in the grass, and just die. Just fuck it. But if there's like some semblance of a chance to like survive and do shit, oh, I'm fucking after it. I'm fucking after it. This, we're at a point, man. It's time to really figure out what we're going to do. I mean, there's a lot of people that'll tell you to vote your way out of this situation. I mean, I don't know that that's the answer. I don't know that that's ever been the answer, especially when I think about all of the things that I know now about our system and how it's structured and why it's structured that way. And, how the 14th Amendment made us all slaves. And we, as a people, need to fucking, and by people, I mean American people, need to really fucking take some time and figure this shit out. It's like we all just want to fucking like be left alone in our own little isolated worlds. But the reality is, like, we are part of something bigger, and we do need to all play our part in this situation and really come up with some solutions as to how we move forward and get rid of this de facto bullshit government situation that we have and bring in the de jure. I'm talking Article 3 courts of equity. The state can't be a victim. Real fucking common law shit. Like an ability to actually have a currency based off something. Right now, they fucking sell us into slavery with fucking taxes. They just print all this fucking money, uh, they send it out to various different countries. Those people give kickbacks to the politicians and to the PACs that then pay the politicians, and it's just this never-ending circle where people are enriching themselves. If you're like, well, how would a real government work? It's like, well, when you think about like old Greek democracy and how that was done back then, I mean, dude, you couldn't even have a bank account if you were a politician. Like, if you served in their Senate, you couldn't have a bank account because then you might be tempted to do something in the interest of somebody paying you. And like, literally, our entire government is getting paid to fucking create public policy and laws that benefit them. We're not in a constitutional republic. We're not in a fucking democracy. This is fascism. Like, I just cringe when I listen to people talk about, like, I'm a leftist. And it's like, what? What do you even mean by that? Like, it's always these fake intellectual people who are honestly fucking dumb as a box of rocks and have, like, they only have these ideas from a lack of experience in the real fucking world. Because if you look at communism in practice, it's never fucking worked. You know why? Because it's not about actually fucking like destroying the fucking upper class, or whatever. It's about fucking, complete control over a population. It's like, I talked to this one guy, he's like, well, I mean, me, I'm always down for a billionaire having their wealth revoked. It's like, dude, like, you sound like a fucking idiot. You sound like a fucking straight bitch. It's like, don't you think it's fucking badass when you see someone riding down the road in a fucking Lambo? I do. I always have. Lambos are fucking cool. Like, I want to have some of these things. There's definitely other cars that I would like to have over a Lambo. But, when I think about how people's mentality is, it's like, I don't know. I grew up wanting to fucking be rich. I wanted to be fucking free. I wanted to be fucking, I guess something similar to fucking Kid Rock, to be honest. Which, shout out to fucking The Rock. That was my guy back in my early days. So it really is. We're in a situation, man, where who knows what is going to happen. I still can't help but think about my one friend talking about, like, if we live in some reality that's lesser than this, it's like this, but just less freedom, then okay, so what? I'm like, blown away. And like, I don't know if it's because he's a few years older than me and it's just a generational thing, or right. Like, I lost a lot of respect for a bunch of my Gen X friends because during COVID they were all like, all the people that were on like the punk rock side and like that I knew, they all were like, get your fucking vaccine. And it's like, whoa, a year ago we were fucking like fuck Big Pharma. Now you're cooking for them? You're calling everybody right wing? I got called a Trump supporter more times than I care to admit. I don't vote. I don't vote. I've voted twice in my life. I voted once for John McCain because he's running against Barack, and I didn't want to vote for Barack because everybody was voting for me, like Barack Obama. Ugh. And obviously I made a good choice. The motherfucker fucking shit our fucking country down the drain. Not that I thought John McCain was going to do any better. It was strictly a contrarian act, if you will. And then it might have been, was it 2016? Maybe it was 2016. I went and voted, and you know who I voted for? I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Joe Jorgensen or whoever the fucking third party candidate was. I voted for Elliot Jones. Do you know who that is? That's me. You know? You know why? Because I'm the president of my own fucking life. I'm the one who decides whether or not shit goes good or bad in my own life. A president does not have that control over me. I voted for myself, but since then, have not voted and will not vote. Like you have, I mean, this to me, left wing, right wing, same bird, an illusion of choice, a big club, and we're not fucking in it. You know, these, police are policy enforcers. It's right in the name. Police, policy. Same root words. People don't think about the etymology and how these words that we say, and we just have been using them for so long. I mean, crimes are all commercial in nature, meaning money. You have a bill of charges. Where else you get a bill of charges? Your fucking credit card. You have to post a bond. That's a financial instrument. They take your fucking social, tied to a CUSIP number, and they take your bond from your court shit, and they fucking trade it on the open market. Find your CUSIP number, you can find where your social is being traded. And when you die, they don't just stop trading your social. They just remember our whole financial system is based on debt. It's a debt-based system. So, like, you think when you fucking pay you have a credit card bill, and it's like fucking $2,000 credit card bill. You want to take your fucking Federal Reserve notes, your dollar bills, you fork over $2,000 in that. But let me ask you, if a note, Federal Reserve note, is a promissory note, right? When it comes to money, there's two things. There is no lawful money in America, right? Constitutionally, the Constitution tells us the only legal tender, the only lawful money is gold and silver coin. But the 1933 fucking Gold Act, they fucking took that shit. So because they took our ability to pay debts in lawful money, which would be gold, silver, or gold and silver certificate redeemable for said metal, all we have is promises to pay and orders to pay. So you're taking your promissory notes and paying your credit card bill, but your bill is actually not meant to be paid in that fashion. I'm in the middle of the fucking administrative process and learning how to get remedy, but I mean, the reality is that our system is fucking straight up Wizard of Oz. And, I mean, I don't want to fight the system or destroy it or come from some sort of negative place, period. Like I love America, not United States. I love the United States, lowercase united, lowercase states of capital uppercase America. Not United States of America, not United States Inc., not U.S. Corp or whatever, the federal corporation within the District of Columbia, which is what United States is. Are you a U.S. citizen? United States citizen? Well, that's what I mean when I said the 14th Amendment made us all slaves. We all became federal U.S. citizens. Obviously the intention there was protect commerce for the slave owners and take away our rights as free men and our ability to become citizens of the state. Not state of Maryland, but like be an actual Marylander. Like a fucking state citizen, lowercase c. Right? Dude, worst thing we can do is assume we know the definitions of words. Highly advised starting to look up definitions in a legal dictionary. Start understanding how your name is not really your name. I'm learning, man. And every day I'm trying to uncover more and more towards the truth. I got this fucking book that's got here's the thing, dude. You can't start trying to dive into court and what we're really supposed to do as Americans and who we are and what is our identity and what is our duty and obligation when you're coming from a place of negativity, when you're not right, not only with yourself, but when you're not right with God. Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth. This particular Bible is the one that I use on the daily. As you can see, I got a couple rolling papers in there as my bookmarks. God won't mind, It's got the laws. You got to understand how the Bible plays into our legal system. There's no way around it. Like, this shit is not new. It's not like we have some new system. It's all based off old shit from hundreds and thousands of years ago. They just modernized the terminology, man. I don't know what the answers are, but try to learn, man. Try to learn. I highly advise that, you give a shit, that you care, and you find ways to positively impact your community. Because they need you, man. They need you. That, Baltimore, out.